Imagine walking through the heart of Rome today and looking up at a massive concrete dome that has survived for nearly 2,000 years without a single piece of steel reinforcement. We live in a world where our modern bridges and highways begin to crumble after just 50 years. Yet the structures of the Roman Empire refuse to die. For centuries, engineers and chemists were baffled by this. They called it the lost secret of the ancients. Today, on History with Qadri, we are finally cracking the code of the Roman miracle and discovering why their buildings actually get stronger as they age, while ours slowly fall apart. To understand how incredible this is, we have to look at the Pantheon. It is a masterpiece of engineering with a dome that spans over 140 feet. If you tried to build that today using standard modern concrete without using rebar, the weight would cause it to crack and collapse under its own pressure. The Romans didn't have heavy machinery or advanced computers, yet they created something that has outlasted every empire that followed it. For a long time, historians thought the Romans were just lucky, or that they had access to some magical ingredient that no longer exists on Earth. But the truth is actually much more fascinating, and it involves a level of chemical engineering that we are only just beginning to replicate in the 21st century. When you look closely at a piece of ancient Roman concrete, you will notice tiny white chunks scattered throughout the grey material. For decades, modern scientists dismissed these as signs of poor craftsmanship. They assumed the Romans were sloppy and didn't mix their mortar thoroughly enough. They called these chunks limeclasts. However, a recent breakthrough has flipped that idea on its head. Scientists discovered that these white chunks weren't a mistake at all. They were the secret weapon. The Romans used a process called hot mixing, where they used quicklime in its most reactive state. This created a material that had a built-in self-healing mechanism. Think about that for a second. When a tiny crack forms in a modern building, water gets in, freezes, expands, and eventually destroys the structure. But in a Roman building, when a crack forms and rainwater seeps in, it reacts with those little white limeclasts. This creates a calcium-rich solution that flows into the crack and hardens, literally plugging the wound and healing the building from the inside out. It is essentially a living material that fights back against the elements. This is why Roman harbors are still standing in the middle of the ocean. While salt water eats away at modern steel and concrete, it actually triggers a chemical reaction in Roman concrete that makes it grow even tougher over time. The Romans also had a geographical advantage that they used to its full potential. They discovered a special kind of volcanic ash near the city of Pantheon. This ash, when mixed with lime and water, created a bond that was unlike anything the world had ever seen. They were so confident in this material that they built entire cities on top of it. They understood that by combining the power of the Earth's volcanoes with their own engineering brilliance, they could create monuments that would tell their story long after their soldiers were gone. This wasn't just construction. It was a statement of eternal power. We often think of history as a straight line of progress where we are always getting smarter and better at everything we do. But the story of Roman concrete proves that sometimes the greatest secrets are buried in the past. As we look toward a future where we need more sustainable and long-lasting buildings, we are finally turning back to the lessons of the Roman engineers. We are learning that the key to building for the future might just be hidden in the ruins of the past. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time here at History with Qadri. If you found this dive into ancient technology fascinating, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our community of history explorers. We have many more mysteries to uncover and many more stories to tell. What ancient wonder do you want to see us cover next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next chapter of our history.